The Zambian sports sector has been steadily growing in the last few years. With over 50 sports associations affiliated to the National Sports Council of Zambia, there is room for further growth of the industry owing to its popularity and potential to contribute to national development. With the government investing more resources in the sector than ever before, there are many sport-related initiatives that are being introduced to complement the efforts of the government in providing physical activity, fitness, and sport opportunities to the Zambian citizens. One of the areas of sport development that continue to receive attention at national level is the fitness industry, which has significantly grown into a viable and economic activity. With gyms and fitness groups increasing in number every year, our guest today will share with us how he has achieved great success and the price he had to pay to get where he is. From wherever you are watching us from, we welcome you to the first edition of the Zambia Sports Roundtable, a platform that serves to give a voice to key personalities making an impact in Zambian sport. My name is Sombwa Knox Musunsa, and I am joined by Makungo Muyembe, also known as the fitness cyborg. He has been and he continues to be one of the most innovative and prolific fitness trainers and entrepreneurs in Zambia. Makungo, welcome to the show and congratulations for being the first guest of the Zambian Sports Roundtable.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that I'm the first guest.
All right.
But yeah, it's quite
Indeed,
interesting.
you are.
Thank you. Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you so much. We haven't met for quite some time, but obviously we keep our conversations alive in different communications medium. But there's something that I want to find out from you, even as we go into the details of the interview. And a lot of people out there would like to know, really, what inspired you to name yourself the fitness cyborg? I used to watch, the movie. There was a movie called Cyborg that I used to watch
Cyborg,
when I was young in Cabo in one of the cinemas there. But what inspired you to call yourself Fitness Cyborg?
To start with, I used to call myself a fitness motivator because when I started this fitness movement, the aerobics mania, 10 years ago, I mean, I haven't been to school for it. Of course, I've been to school for something else. I got into the fitness industry through passion and also when I identified the gap that most of the guys that were in the fitness industry then were focusing so much on the bodybuilding. All right. So on the aspect of just fitness for health, there wasn't so much. So I used to call myself a fitness motivator because all I do is just motivate people to exercise, and I believe exercise is the movement of the body, right? So after some 4 years, I changed from fitness motivator to fitness driver. And the reason why I changed again to fitness motivator to fitness driver, there's this guy that I was watching who did 67,000 pull-ups. Pull-ups, 67,000 pull-ups. So now they were asking, how did you do that? It was like himself. It was like, no, I was just motivated to do it. And they said, no. Actually, motivation comes and goes. I was driven. You know what I mean? And then when he said that word driven, I realized that, okay, that's the reason why I motivate people. They come, they start fitness. They are motivated. But if they don't have a drive, they won't exercise. So I was calling myself a fitness driver. Now I'm driving you to those who are motivated. I drive you to do more fitness. All right. So how did I come to Cyborg? Cyborg, it wasn't planned because in 2020, I was involved in an accident. I was bashed actually. We were doing a business walk, and then some vehicle which was coming from behind just bashed, and then my right leg was broken, like the femur was broken, completely broken. So now I put a metal thing in my leg. I still have it. So in hospital, and I came out 3-4 days. 1 week at home, I started doing a bit of exercise. And then already I had an activity that was coming with Coca-Cola, because they had already booked. I was okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. So now them were, well, right, so how are we going to do this? You know, like, just chill. We'll come up with something. So in the thing, there's a friend of mine in Lechkali who used to call me Cyborg. Cyborg, as in, when you're exercising, I'll be like, man, going hard. At now you're just a cyborg. So now the name makes sense now, because the cyborg, you know, remember that, like you said,
Yeah.
the guy had, you know, some solid steel stuff in him. So that's how, after the unfortunate accident, that's when I started calling myself a fitness cyborg. I was launched in 2020. Fitness cyborg was launched, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But for fun.
What a journey, really, really. Yeah, I remember you doing with the you know, exercises and the fitness, some events with Kaliwa, a colleague of mine. I went to school with him at Evelyn Horn some time back. May he so rest in
Oh
peace.
yeah.
Now,
Very
Makungo, I
sad,
want
yeah.
you to take us through your journey. I think there is a beginning in terms of the your journey through the fitness industry. You were working for the government. And I would say you
Yeah.
had, I'm not sure your position, but probably that story will be for another day. But you left your government job to pay serious attention to your career in the fitness industry, but also you ventured, later on, you ventured into other businesses. You know, jobs are very difficult to find, and one who just leaves a job just like that, people will start thinking, "Hey, what is happening with this man? How did your wife, your family take it? You know, for you deciding to leave your regular job, you know, working from 8 to 5 or 8 to 17, and then you just leave that job and start, you know, this business that you have and others. Please take us through that journey."
Actually, I started with clothing. I started with clothing because when I did my master's in Thailand. So when I came back, I did my master's in labor economics. So when I came back, I started doing clothing business. So I was making suits from Thailand and reselling them. All right. So even the time that I was leaving the government in 2012, my clothing business had picked up a bit. I was making a bit more money from my clothing than my job. I was working as a principal planner, which was basically a very good job in the government, even up to now. It's a senior job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so with the clothing, the fitness thing, I started it in 2013. Like I said, I saw a gap because I've been exercising for quite a long time, because I used to be overweight as well. Once upon a time, but when I wanted to do
Yeah,
my
I
master's, I had
remember.
time to reflect. And yes, yeah, I started exercising more. So when I came back, I was rejuvenated. I kept on exercising. So whenever I go to the gym, I'll see people, you know, just loitering in the gym. All you see is guys pumping weights. And so I was like, no, something has to be done. So that's how I started doing a class in a gym called Universal Fitness. I started just a free class. My friend joined me the next day. They had 3 people. Before you know it, the class had grown, and I was doing it for free. So 2013, I decided to take it outside. So I told the owner of the gym, I want to take this outside. And he thought it wasn't going to work out. But I pushed, and then boom, the aerobics menu was born. All right. So before I go further on that, you said, how did I take it? Of course, when I decided to leave, to tell you the truth, I didn't have support from anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course, my wife had so many reservations. My mother, so many reservations. My friends were like, "Are you sure?" You know, and I was like, "I've got it. I've got this." You know, I mean, and that is the thing that I always tell people, that you dream alone. You know what I mean? Yeah? And if you want to do something, so even whatever I've done, it's not that someone told me. Even the aerobics menu was creating, it was me that dreaming. Like, we can do this. We can. There's a gap here. We can. You know what I mean? You can share with someone, but they won't have the same drive like you have. For me, I believe from the day one, such that when I left the government job and I started doing my clothing, and also fitness. People were like, with your masters, what else are you doing? I said, no, it's clothing and fitness, just, but it's something that has transitioned, and basically it's an industry that is slowly growing, and people might start seeing a bit of sense in it. Because I mean, I don't know if I had not done it, if it would be a different story now, because there's no one who was looking at the industry from my perspective when I started.
Yeah, of course, if you hadn't tried it, you probably wouldn't have even had this fitness cyborg that we're talking to today. But with all the success stories,
if I stayed in government, I don't think I would have done whatever I've done. Because I feel personally that I've done more outside government, even in terms of, I mean, because the development is development. So even in the aspect of, because fitness and health is very, very important. They're very key in terms of basically ensuring that the citizens are healthy, and the citizens are healthy, then it's development basically. So we are all contributing to the development of the country in one or another. So you can still contribute even when you are outside government.
That's very true. And with all the success stories that you have told us, you indicated that it wasn't easy for you to venture into this industry. Obviously, even the level of acceptance from your own family was quite a challenge. Now, I would like you to just highlight a few challenges and also indicate how do you perceive the fitness industry in Zambia? Is it growing? In your own perspective, do you think it's stagnant? And do you think you're receiving enough support from different stakeholders, including government, for this industry to thrive?
Looking at the way it was then, because remember when I started, there were no groups, there were no outdoor activities. Fitness was in the gym. I think I started taking fitness to places of work. Started taking fitness to malls, to different places, to schools and things. And most of the things that have been done, I mean, who started it? So growth, yes, there's been growth, but I think there's still a lot that needs to be done. Because remember, when I got into the industry, there was a bit of a challenge for the guys who were there to accept me, to accept what I was doing, basically, because the aerobics that I brought was totally different from the usual aerobics, because the guys that were in the gym were doing step aerobics, the Jenny Fonda aerobics, the ding 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 step, ding, ding. Me, I was like, okay, because I used to observe stuff when I go in the gym. This doesn't. Why do we use the usual normal music that we, because I was trying to bring fun to fitness, you know what I mean? So why don't you use music that you can use in a club, or you're at home, you're excited, the one that you use for robots? Like I said, it's just like the movement of the body, you know what I mean? So you just get any music that is nice, and then you're able to come up with some workouts, some movement, and the like. So the acceptance in the industry was, I had received a lot of resistance from the guys who were like, hey, who's this guy? And this guy, he's not a trainer. I said, I'm not a trainer. I'm not a trainer. And that's why I used to call myself a fitness motivator. I don't train people. I just exercise with people. Even up to now, I keep on saying that. I just exercise with people. You know what I mean? Yeah? And I won't tell you this, so eat this, and I have not been trained in that. All I can give you is my experience. Say, for me to have lost weight or to keep my weight like this, I eat in moderation. I eat what I want, and I exercise more. I drink enough water, and that's my approach. I don't take the approach where you want to come up like you've been to school for it and you want to do this and that's. So for us, it's just fitness. It's just a fitness enthusiast. So the industry, of course, it has grown in that, like now, for me, I can wake up and go to any province. I will find a fitness group that does aerobics. I think aerobics now is the most popular exercise, basically. Running is also aerobics, but the kind of aerobics that we do now, it's everywhere. I can wake up today, I go to to Mchinga, I'll find a group that are doing exercise. That's why it has been easy for me when I say, okay, I'm going to Kasama to do an event. I'll find people that are already there that will help me organize an event. So fitness is growing, but I think we still have a long way to go, because for a sector to grow, people should be able to find value, and being able to pay for it. All right.
Yeah.
So it's growing. Many people are exercising, but in terms of making money, we still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And your campaigns, let me put it this way, the Zambia Shall Be Fit campaign, for instance, is one that really provides some advocacy and education in terms of encouraging people to involve themselves in physical activity, fitness, and sport. And I'm happy that you continue having those campaigns. And we don't have statistics right now that we can point at, but we are alive to the fact that there's been growth in terms of the number of people that are participating in fitness. Now, you mentioned a number of challenges and obstacles, from different people, different individuals. A few years ago, Makungo, you had a disagreement, a huge one, with the Zambian athletics. They disputed the fact that you couldn't run marathons or your activities without their permission. And this was a big issue. And I remember watching one of the addresses by the former president, Edgar Lungu. This information reached State House, so to say. And also the Ministry of Sports, the National Sports Council were also involved. Now, tell us what really happened with that issue of encroachment in someone's territory, and was the matter resolved?
Yeah, I think it was an interesting thing, because even the ministry, in terms of promotion of fitness, I think sometimes they confuse fitness is not a sport, okay? But a sport can be fitness, all right? And fitness, a sport is competitive, regardless. If it can be one, two people, a sport, there has to be an opponent, and the sport usually there has to be a winner. So that's the reason why Sports Council is basically looking at sports. So even the amateur athletics, or Zambia Athletics now, for me, the events that I do is aerobics, and then before aerobics, we do a warm-up, a 5-kilometer run. 5-kilometer run, and then go into the main meal, which is aerobics. So there's this point, here is only issues with these people who are running, who do this marathon, which is unfortunate, because we have to allow growth in the sector. People should be allowed to organize themselves, and also what the association is supposed to do is get in there to say, how can we help you? So it's facilitation, but that was not the case. I don't know if now it has changed. So now there's a time that we're going to Pata. So I done a similar event where 5-kilometer run, and then I was supposed to do aerobics. And then he calls the police. They had no running is ours. You're not supposed to run. If you want to run, you have to get permission. Like, no, there's no way.
Right.
We are not competing. There's no number one. It's just for fitness, for our health. So, and if you're an association, it means that for you to regulate me, it means that I have to be associated. All right? Simple and straightforward. Just like we have FAS, Football Association of Zambia. The people who play football, those who don't want to be associated with FAS, they will play their football. Only when you want to get into the FAS regulation and league. Okay? That's why now they will regulate you the way you do things. And sometimes this amateur, even football, soccer, school competition, they will go to FAS and ask for their expertise, all right? And FAS will, there's no mean they will start regulating these people. We'll just give them guidance or what, and charge them probably like a small fee for the role that they're going to play in the, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's the that we had. So yeah, I took it upon myself to international sports. So I said, okay, where's the constitution? It's written that this association is supposed to be regulating people to run nowhere. And where is it written that they're supposed to be charging for it? Nowhere. You know what I mean? Yeah? But it was really back and forth until I had an opportunity to exercise with the president. Then yeah, I mean, the previous president, we had 4 or 5 years together. So there's this Mr. President, and unfortunately, he acted on it. I don't know if it's that, but I think from then it started going a bit okay. But for me, I've never had a problem with this. I think people that still have one or two things are those that organize these marathons and the like, but which is not supposed to be the case. I think we are our industry, our sector is too small, because in the marathon that we are doing, we have thousands. You see our friends in South Africa and probably even in where you are, when they do a marathon, 10,000 people, 20,000 people. I mean, people go there for comrades, 20,000 plus people, coming from all different. And that's the tourism sector also benefiting. And there's so much that we can do with this industry. Only when we work together, not to be just like this one, this. And also, what I do basically in the sports fraternity, because right now I train with athletes. They can do aerobics when they're just for fitness and like. So we're one. I think we should not be competing, and that was very, very unfortunate.
That's very true. Are you friends? Are you still friends with Cesar? Or let me put it this way: are you friends with Mr. Model?
I have no issues with him. He's the one who has dished. He says, that youngster. And from the word go, I've been promoting fitness.
Right.
I brought funness, which was not fair. I mean, I've seen so many guys who are even calling people that are doing that I'm doing. I'm very excited because when I started, some people say, make branches, do it. No. Let people who want to organize themselves organize. I don't want to have the stress of making a branch there. And the aerobics mania is the movement.
Yes.
Movement means some people are falling off, some are coming, and there's still a lot of people that need to come on board. Like I said, the challenge that we have is how to get people now, people who are able to pay, exercising regularly. And if people are able to pay, that's the only way the industry will grow. Because we have so many trainers now, but because of lack of money, we find trainers also competing. Trainers competing for, this man. I tell them, the market is huge. Just like Lusaka only. Lusaka has 3 million people.
Yeah.
Lusaka has 3 million people. Look at the number of gyms that are there. Very, very few. People just decided, even just 20,000 people started exercising regularly. Like they want to go to the gym. The gyms will be very few.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
20,000 regularly going to the gym and paying. Gyms will be few. You will see even few trainers. But the challenge that we have is Zambians don't appreciate. They believe in fitness events. All right? There's a marathon, the company pays for the workers there with a t-shirt. It was nice. It was nice. Do this one.
It should be a lifestyle.
That's what the challenge is.
It should be a lifestyle.
It should be a lifestyle. And once people, once people appreciate the lifestyle, they will be able to pay for it.
All right. I want to just indicate one, talking about gyms, right? You had a challenge. You had to close down during COVID-19. Have you recovered, from the losses that we can attribute to the pandemic? A lot of businesses closed. Some of them have not even recovered up to now. How did you recover? Because we see that you are back on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, we I don't know if you have recovered, see, because I mean, I was just opening the gym. No business for a long time, almost like more than a year. Of course, there are people that have since they left, they never come back because I mean, when I just the response that I got was very good. But after we opened the gyms, it's been challenging. Okay, just like I said, the challenge that we have with this sector is lack of consistency. So you have these people coming in these 2-3 months, they stop, they become lazy, they like, so there is no growth per se. They're just canceling each other. Five people, maybe they're not showing up for this next month, and that's a challenge. Otherwise, we keep on seeing new people. For me, that's basically my interest. Because even the Aerobics Mania, wherever I go, I'm focusing so much on new people, because if you're seeing the same people over and over again coming for events, it's not worth. It's a movement. The idea is for people to experience fun through fitness, and then say, wait a minute, I can do this, and then they join the fitness movement.
Exactly. And you're talking about moving across the country, and you've been everywhere in Zambia, really. You've been to all corners of the country.
Yeah.
And now, at least...
all the 10 provinces.
Yes, exactly. And you came to Livingstone one time. I think that was on my birthday. I can't remember. But that should have been 2021. You came to Livingstone. You had some sessions there. I joined in the event, and I got a T-shirt, which I still have, even where I am here in Botswana. I still have this T-shirt. It's very good. I also got some tracksuits. I remember way back when I was still in Livingstone, very good tracksuits. But I keep wondering why Zambians do not want to buy from their own, because what you produce, really, Makungo, is of high standard. So how can we advise the government, for instance, and other stakeholders, including us individuals, to buy Zambian? This is something that you've done, and I know that you have produced a number of sports attires, but you're not just sports attires, even attires for different occasions, suits, and so on and so forth. But I'm interested in the sports family, especially that we don't have national colors, a national uniform, so to say. What is the advice? What advice can you give to the government in terms of investing in local producers like yourself?
For most of these things that we do, the government has a role to play in that they have to set a certain direction, especially when they identify, like, okay, this is good, how can we, But I think the challenge we've seen with this government, and this one may be trying differently. We always want to start with new things, new people, So even in this sector, like I've been talking about the fitness. Fitness is a huge sector in other countries. Fitness, you're looking at youth employment, and like, what is it that the government is doing about it? They're just watching us. Okay. If you want to be a fitness trainer, for example, where do you go? Most of the guys that are doing fitness is just self-taught. So if government was interested, I've been in the game for 10 years and made so much noise, because you remember even reaching that level of a stage where you're doing with the president, and the president loved it, the former president, So that is policy level. Said, okay, this is good. Look at the number of people that were. Okay, so if it's this sector, what are the challenges? Okay, the challenges would be no schools for fitness trainers, because fitness trainers, fitness sector comes with a lot of things, how many dietitians, of course, or those who do this, okay, fitness trainers, where do I get their certification from? Because if you want to be a fitness trainer, if you want to make it a proper sector, people shouldn't just wake up like some of us did. Some have a passion and the like, but at least if you want to make it a proper, government has to come in. They have to recognize that this is a sector that can create jobs. And how do you do that? You induce certain things. If you have all your government directors, planners, or whatever, you pay for them. You don't go to the gym. Money is going to the gyms. The gyms there have money. They're employing so many people, and then just when you have government getting involved in promoting fitness, and then ensuring that many people are getting into it, that's when now people will be spending, and the sector will be growing. you know, and then the
Yeah.
education sector also, they will start creating courses. We want
That's true.
people to wake up to say, I want to be fitness cyborg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not every time thinking of being a doctor or what, because you don't know, maybe fitness cyborg is even making more money than those people. You know what I mean? So that in Zambia, when you disclose, hey, this guy, so this is how much he's making.
Yeah. So, Makungo, I want to stop you there. So, in a nutshell, there are a lot of opportunities out there. I think what is important is for all of us to just work together and realize that there is potential in the Zambians themselves in going into this industry. And finally, Makungo, even as we close, just one line in terms of advice to that individual out there that is listening to you right now, who is thinking of quitting his or her job and going into something similar to what you are doing. Just one line or a second.
It's not a super sector. I wouldn't advise someone to. Me, I've found my way through because I think I started when everyone did not pay attention to it. So I found a way of basically surviving. But quitting a job just to maybe just getting to fitness, it might not be a very good advice because you might not make that money. Like I was saying, I mean, I own a gym, but I'm not making as much from there. I'm making money from elsewhere. You don't quit before you know what you want to do, because it's tough out there. But that does not mean that you can't quit your job to basically do what you want to do. And you know the challenge that we have in Zambia, you quit, you start doing something. Yeah, the support is there, but support is not there. But so you just have to go a thick skin and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and you believe in yourself.
Right. Yes, sir. Makungo, I wish we could go on and on talking, but I would like to thank you so much for your time. And we wish you the very best as you continue to contribute to sport development in Zambia, as well as national development. Viewers, there you have it.
Yeah, Zambia shall be.
Makungo Muyembe, a fitness trainer and entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to being with you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.